Howdy, folks. This is Tommy, Help with Gadgets. Looks like we got a couple of folks in here. Welcome. Hope y'all are having a great day. We'll give it a minute, see if some more folks join. And of course, it would not be a live without some interesting technical difficulties prior to getting started, but that's okay. Kind of used to it now, kind of expected. Hey, Mr. Eddie, thanks for being here, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had fun on your video calls today. And thanks for being here, man. Okay. I think I'm coming out of this vest though. It was a warm day here in South Carolina. Marco, thanks for being here, man. Robert Willoughby, thank you for being here. Hope all of your all's day has been going just wonderfully. Mine's been kind of hectic for some reason, but that's okay. No new knives to unbox today. Oh, got a few more I need to put out here. No new knives to unbox today, but we might get into doing a little work on a work on a little J cape that I have to do some anodization to. No, sir. But thank you for trying again. So, just a curious question, and y'all can let me know what your thoughts are. Y'all like background music when you're listening to a live or negative? And by background music, I mean barely able to be heard. Because I don't like the music overpowering whomever is speaking at the time. And while we're waiting for everybody to get here, y'all go ahead and let me know what you had in pocket today. I had these two, and I had those two, and then I have the Curtis in pocket as well, for at least part of the day. Hey TKE, how are you doing, man? Thank you for being here. And there's Fred the Lug. Thanks for dropping by, Fred. We've got the We've got parts of the J-cape soaking in alcohol. I've already cleaned them with some Dawn dishwashing detergent and got them all nice and shiny. And we're going to see if we can't try some colors here in a little bit. That I'm not sure of, DKE. I didn't see it come across, but this is all new to me, so I don't know, man. None for now. Hey, man, thanks for being here. Do appreciate it. And TK, you'll have to tell me, does that show up in StreamYard, or does that show up otherwise? And I'm trying to watch on the monitor as well, or on the tablet. Yep, got it that time, man. Thank you, sir. Hey, Rody. And I appreciate that, TKE. And whoop, it moved on me. Hey, Rody. Thank you for being here, man. Y'all post up what you're carrying today. None for now says he's flipping his iridium now. Thanks, TK, but y'all don't have to do that. He and I have been chatting back and forth for the last couple of days. He's been giving me some good advice. Brody says he has made a sick card holder today. I will have to go take a look here after the live in the Discord. Forrest, thanks for being here, man. Do appreciate it. If you haven't checked Forrest Hinks out, please do so. TK says I carried the 80-20. That's a big one he's got on. I think it's on loan, so that's very cool. Well, it was advice. I'll just say that. For the most part, get advice. Forrest said I carried the Kaimano and Buck 112. Oh, Satisfaction's design and a classic. Marco. Fred the Lug says carrying a modded Dark Bolt Arcus and Neves Misdemeanor. I would have to do a search to find out what the Dark Bolt Arcus was. And I haven't experienced a Misdemeanor yet, but those look pretty cool. And then I'm just going to go over that one right now. And oh, man, okay. Thanks, Morbid Klaus. Thanks, Carco. Appreciate it. Oh, it's like herding cats with these guys. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I did see that one. I think I did see that one just a few weeks ago. Yep. TK got to play with our Arcus a few weeks back. Yeah, I think I did see that now. Wasn't one that's really familiar to me, so it didn't ring a bell. Now for now, it says had an 80-15 on me earlier. Made burlap micarta scales for it. Took one loop off the spring holding the lock bar down. Action is great. Very cool. So None for Now has been modding some knives today. And if I didn't say thank you to Carco for that. Man, really appreciate that. Much appreciated. Alrighty then. Let's see. So TK working on that knife collection investment plan. There you go. All right, so I mentioned what I have, what I carried today. That was the I was carrying the two. Yeah, let's change it up a little bit here. Carrying the two Vulcans, and I guess I could put the Curtis out as well, and the Curtis. That made things a little bit crowded on ye old screen. So didn't plan on having all these knives out here. All right. So that was the ones I had on me today. Oh, and I forgot one more. I always forget I have this one in pocket, but that's that one's a pretty cool one too. TK says it's more like the Edsel plan. Edsel plan. Mr. 80 says I have a many areas coming. That should be pretty cool. I've had one of the regular areas, and that's a really good knife. Hey Jesse, thanks for being here. Do appreciate it. Forest Tanks. So which is the one in the middle? Are you talking about this one, Forest? And I'll pause just a minute to make sure, but I think that's maybe the one that you're talking about. If so, it's the Cheburkov Raven. That one came in from Carco last week, I think, and it's a really cool knife. Get a close up here of it. It's a Russian maker. But are really cool. And very light. It's like a 4-inch. Let's see. Where'd my measuring utensil get to? There it is. It'd help if it was. It's like a 4 1/4 inch blade, 9 3/4 overall, and it's like 4 ounces. Very light, very good action. So that one's one that Carco sent for me to take a look at. And let me back up here. We took care of that. Same boat belling the same water out. You don't know about that. All right, TK said he's about to unbox some of Carco's knives. Going to mute for a minute. Be right back. Sounds cool. And thank you, TK. You don't have to do that, man, but I do appreciate it. Sequels cookies. All right. I did not know that. Rody, I'll have to check that out. Yep, Jesse, that is a very cool knife. Again, I'll probably do a disassembly and cleaning on that knife here before too long, and then do a review here in probably either later this week or next week. Man, I'm not ignoring him. I'm just behind on chat. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Cargo is pretty cool. He's got I've got this one on loan from him. Move some knives here. I've got that one on loan from him, and um, that one there on loan. So he sent me some really cool knives to take a look at. I need special effects. Yeah. Hey, I'm. This was rather. It kind of happened rather quickly. I didn't have a whole lot of time to get everything set up, and I'm still waiting on memberships to be approved. That it sounds like you did get the box, Carco, and I don't know how long it took, but I think you've been expecting him to get it for a minute now. Hey, Neil McKenzie, I did not say hello to you. Thanks for being here, man. $75 for the slip joint. Nope. Sorry, man. I can try to babble on for about 20 more minutes at least. We're gonna try to hang out for a little while tonight. Of course, that is a Sharp by Design derecho. Derecho. I probably mispronounced it because I'm not familiar with that storm, but um, it is really cool. So far, the reverse flick on it's really good. I don't do real good on the flipper because it's the typical Sharp by Design, very slick, and so I get misfires a bunch on that. But the reverse flick is the reverse flick spot on that knife. Yeah, Forrest Wilbur Klaus is Carco. He tries to switch it up on us from time to time, I think. Thanks, TK. Appreciate you, man. No, I can't. I'm not for that. I'm not getting rid of that one. I had to. I had to. I had to talk to Michael a little bit to get that one. But the other knives that I have here that I don't have open yet are the Artie Spectre, Artie Blade Spectre, the Vastid Acorn, and the Vastid Porcupine. So I try to have a little bit of everything on the table, from some budget knives to some ones that are way above my means that some folks have let me borrow, and for that I really appreciate that as well. I did. Oh, I did get a new knife in since the last time that we were on. Uh, this actually won this one off of Rob's Nerdy Knives. Was it 7K giveaway? Was that what it was? 7K, 8K, whatever it was. 7K. That's right. We've got a huge coin up here. So I got that one, and I like it, but the jury's out on whether or not this is a one that'll stay in my collection, or I'll do something else with. Um, it works just fine. I mean, it's not, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just not I guess it's not my thing. I don't know. I tend to like opening holes, but anyhow. That Michael's was super cool, super nice, super easy to talk to. Doesn't live a terribly far distance from me, so I've uh, I've met him at a couple of blade shows and got some several knives from him now. Mr. Eddie says, "Send me the quiet carry." Yep, that tends to be my favorite. If you looked at most of the knives on the table here that are mine, that's the one I usually carry, and I translated in it because that's how I would have probably typed it, and then looked up and said, missed that one. Neil said, "Neil, it's me, Neil." Kind of like, never mind. I'm not even gonna say that because that's silly. All right, so that was pretty much it. I got the quiet carry. I think I have one more knife coming in soonish. I don't know exactly when it's coming in, but um, I don't think I'll save it for the next live. I need to come up with something good for the next live. By the way, folks, if you hadn't had the opportunity to check out Vulcan Knives, uh, I'm gonna do a little plug for them because they have some really cool knives in my opinion. I just got this one in last last Tuesday, so I've had it a week now, and I've got that one a few weeks ago, or right after the first of the year. Um, so check them out. This one here was $325 for a button lock knife that works very well. Magna cut, made in the United States, made in California, um, and in my opinion, pretty cool knife, and very much so for the price. And this one has an interesting flipper tab, but it works really well. And again, I carry both of those today. You're space traveling. Come on and get back down to Earth now. And then I don't think I've mentioned this one today, but this one is actually that one's from Carco. That's a Blessed Knives Newt, and you may notice something a little bit different about this particular knife. Ground Fog, thanks for being here, man. You may notice something a little different about this knife, other than the fact that it's well loved and carried and used. But it's a really cool knife, and I'm gonna try not to cut myself with it. But it took a little getting used to because of the left hand opening, but it works quite well. And if you think about it, with that left-handed clip, you could actually carry it in your right rear pocket and have it up against the seam of your right rear pocket. So just saying. Actually, I have another knife. Y'all don't laugh because this is one that I've had for a while that I started modifying myself. But that's how I used to carry it. Was it's got a, for whatever reason, that's the side the clip was on when I bought it. It's a Kim Ning design. but it's a Tangram, and I think the name of Rumble. Just a budget knife, and I used to carry it right rear pocket, with the blade up against the seam of my back pocket. So, um, very cool knife. No cookies, no Eddie. Thanks, Mr. Eddie. All right. Yep, Jesse, it is, and that's the first time I'd had any experience with blessed knives. So you're doing good to have recognized it, because I probably wouldn't have. Simply because I hadn't experienced them yet. All right. EDC Reviewer, thanks for being here, man. Do appreciate it. I got things out of kilter here on the desk, way off center, and probably off kilter too. So it is what it is. All right, you guys that have just come in, drop in the chat what you're carrying today, if you want to. And I appreciate everybody that's dropped by and that's here. Fortunately, we don't have a box to open today, but we're going to do in a few minutes. We're planning on doing some anodization and seeing if we can't get some cool colors on a J cape that was sent to me to do some mods on. Fred, if you are still around, you'll be excited to hear that much like the insert was on that one side, the pivot in the pivot collar is stuck together. So I'm going to have to do the same thing that I did to the insert that I did to. I'm going to have to do the same thing that I did to the insert to get those apart. All right. EDC Reviewer says today I'm carrying a fluted carbon and S90V native 5. Very cool. I do not have a lot of Spydercos. I've got a couple. Well, I've got a couple of the budget models, and then I've got this very old knife. This was one of my first nicer knives, but that was back in the 90s at least, and it got lost outside and had a little bit of pitting on that blade there, but I've kept this one around for a minute, and it's not the easiest to flick open, but it is doable. But yeah, very old Spyderco with the crazy molded clip on it that I've seen some break, but so far that one hasn't. But I don't carry that one anymore. Mr. Eddie saying that bead looks cool. This one I added that on there since it's just this is a little three finger knife, so but a very cool one. Mr. Eddie actually does handmade knives, and he made this one for me. It's got some cool colors to it, and it's a very good utility blade. And I put a loop on it and carry it on my belt. So very cool knife, and I thank Mr. Eddie for doing that. If you haven't seen Mr. Eddie's logo, there's how it is on some of his knives. He sent me a coin here. ADC reviewer, got a few Spydercos, huh? I have had over the past few years, I've had a ton of them. I was looking back the other day. I think I had four Manics. I had had several Spidey Chefs, pair of PM2s, pair of threes. Um, had a Shaman. Had several other ones that I have, and have mostly traded those away. Got about 300 Spydercos. Yeah, I'd say you have enough for probably a lot of folks. That's cool though. And do you collect anything else besides Spydercos, or is it just mainly Spydercos? And thank you for being here. I don't know that you've been on one of my lives before, but I do appreciate it. But I do like the opening hole. I like the spotty hole on a lot of knives. I've had a couple of Griptilians that actually had the opening hole. Big Jim, thanks for being here, man. Do appreciate it. And you folks that have, if it's your first time and you're enjoying the content, I do a lot of different things. I like doing disassembly and cleaning videos the most, and then some reviews as well. If you would consider subscribing, if you think that's something that you would like to watch something of, and hit that like button if you would as well. ADC reviewer says 25 years of collecting them. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for subbing. Okay, cool. Very nice. Very nice. But it sounds like you have a ton of them. So very cool. Big Jim, thanks for subscribing, man. I do appreciate it. We're doing just a little bit of chatting right now, talking about knives, and then we're going to. I have a bowl full of some parts here sitting in alcohol to do some anodizations on here in just a little bit, which I should have pulled the power supply out. Have to do that in a few minutes. It's behind the computer. I've got to figure out a better way to do all this. I've already moved a lot of stuff off this table, but I think I need to move some other ones. Forrest Hank says I only have one Spyderco Yo Jumbo with some custom Pro X scales. Very cool. Actually, Mr. 80 let me check out the whole Yo Jumbo, Micro Jimbo, or whatever it is, the whole family, and those were cool. I think I like the Yo Jimbo best. In fact, Mr. Eddie's let me check out several Spydercos. The stovepipe, which was a pretty cool knife as well, and maybe a few more Spydercos, but those are the ones that I have that kind of stand out thinking back. Let me go ahead and get this power supply out from behind here because we're going to need that for a few minutes. Let's leave a couple of knives that are over there. Those here. Yeah, those sprints and those exclusives of the different vendors, yeah, those can eat things up, but they also, some of those are really cool. Forrest says the subvert is awesome. I've seen pictures of that one, but I haven't had a chance to try that one. It seems like there was another one that I had either got in from Mr. Eddie or had in the past. I can't remember. But I was looking back and noticed that I had quite a few Spydercos over the several years. And Morbid Klaus agrees with you. Subvert is the best Spidey. All right. EDC reviewer said, yeah, the Subvert is awesome. Have the carbon and 20 CV1, big and built like a tank, and a serious piece of kit. One of my favorite folding camp knives. And None for Now says, I haven't had a Spyderco in forever. I need to rectify that. I think the last time I bought one was 1999. Got it at the PX at Fort Benning. Lost it in Korea. Well, that one had some history then. And yes, from what I think the Mannix is the one that I have had the most of, and had several different versions of it. And don't remember why I don't have one now, but probably was traded in to try and get another knife to take a look at. Legion Steel Knives, thanks for being here. Do appreciate it. Thank you for coming by. Is it Marshall or Marissa that's behind the Legion Steel? EDC reviewer says, "Yep, the Mannix and Native are my two favorite for platforms." And yes, I think I need to pick up another either a PM2 or a pair of 3 for size comparisons. And I thought about it in the past, but just hadn't pulled the trigger on getting one. I really appreciate you being here to show that support, Legion Steel. Legion Steel had a great live the other night, and they gave away a lot of knives. And I may have one on the way from them. And thank y'all for that. Do appreciate it. It's Marissa. Thanks for being here. And Marshall's here as well. Very cool. Thank y'all for being here. I think I heard that comment or a similar comment the other day in a live. Not mine, but I think I did say the same thing. EDC reviewer said, I scored swayback last year from Smoky Mountain Knife Works on Black Friday for $140. Yep. That looks pretty cool. Oh, very nice. Legion still says it went out today. Very cool. I got a point there. I think visiting other lives is part of the job. So, very cool. I have not seen that trout leak, but that's what I've got coming is a leak, but it's the blacked out version. That's very cool. All right, so you guys that have just come in, drop in the chat what you were carrying today. Mine were the two Vulcan custom knives, and I already put it back in my pocket. And the Curtis F3 were the knives that I carried today. And again, if you guys haven't checked out Legion Steel, they have some pretty cool lives. It's fun watching the interaction, and several of the lives that I've been on, they have had guests. So, and then they've got this gong that will wake the entire house if you're not careful. There were several times when I was surprised that Marissa didn't duck her head when the gong was struck by Marshall or the other gentleman that was there the other night. So very cool. I haven't come up with a proper sound yet, proper noise making device yet to do all that with, but we'll see. All right. Big Jim says, carried my Tuya Anzu today. And yes, I do like that the American Blade Works Slippy. It's usually the in the pocket, in my right front pocket, either in the bottom of the pocket or in a slip, depending on what knife I'm carrying. And a lot of times I forget it's there, but it's usually in pocket. So yes, I do like it. Congrats on that one for getting the first gong on Legion Steel. And I think someone had a good point about some Legion Steel branded ear pro. I think I heard that. Mentioned. And yeah, Mr. Eddie, I don't know that I'll do that. We're certainly not going to do kazoos. In fact, I've got one here. I've got two here, but I haven't actually blown either one of them. We get enough of that on Monday nights. So that he did a great job with that slip joint. I mean, if you're not familiar with this, it's a titanium handle, magna cut blade, hollow ground, with some great action. And I'm not a much of a slip joint fan, but I am a fan of American Blade Works. And I've got another one. Oh yeah, here it is. I've got this one here that we actually did the anodization. Well, was it last week? Last week or the week before of those the clip and the backspacer there. But I like American Blade Works. He has some good stuff. Legion Steel. Okay, we can go over the ones that I talked about here. This one is a Bless knife, Donnie Bless, and this one's on loan from Carco, from Morbid Klaus, and left-handed, but still pretty cool. And I can actuate it with my right hand. Have managed so far not to cut myself. I don't know if anybody noticed, but last week I I got myself on this one when I opened it. I, I actually flicked the tip caught my other finger. It's healed up now, but caught my thumb on my other hand, and I had to pull the blood off of camera. This is the Sharp by Design Derecho. That one came from Carco as well, and then he also loaned me this this knife here. This is the Cheburkov Raven, which is a very cool knife. It's like a 4.25 inch blade, almost 10 inches overall, and 4 ounces, and very, very cool action, and a very cool blade. That one's going to be cool to do a disassembly and cleaning of. So, and the other ones are just the Vulcan customs that I carry today, along with my F3 medium warning from Curtis. I've got the RD Blade Spectre here, the Vosteed Porcupine, and the Vosteed Acorn, along with the American Blade Works Slippy and Mr. Eddie's fixed blade that he made me with a cool heat anno on it. So, in the hammered look. So that was I think that's probably the only ones that we showed here, except for the Quiet Carry Waypoint Large. So, all right, let me back up here and get some comments, because I think I've missed some. Get a tambourine? No. All right. Big Jim said, picked up Model 2 last week at Blade Runner Outpost. Love it. Yeah, I had a Model 2. I think Mr. Eddie actually has that one now, and I did an anodization on that one. TK, thank you, man. None for now says, I wound up with 4 or 5 case slip joints. My hardware store sells them, and I'm a sucker. I do have some case knives and some old timer knives that I've had for a very long time. That's the kind of knife that was around when I was growing up. I actually grew up on a farm, and my granddad always had a knife, and for on a farm, it's kind of a necessity, and I think that may be part of what my how my love of knives came around. And then there was a traveling preacher that had a bunch of knife cases in the back of his vehicle, and he would I bought several from him over the years. I think that was a lot of things like frost cutlery, maybe some lockbacks with some bone handles and things like that, and just I've over the years have always had knives, but I guess it's about 4 years ago now. Really got back into knives, and was actually chatting with Carco earlier today about some of the knives that I had previously had. So, in fact, I one of the only times that I have had stitches. Thank you, TK. Appreciate that super chat, man. Thank you, much appreciated. I gotta try to say those quick, or TK gets on me. One of the only times that I have had to get stitches was for a knife. I was a kid back, probably my early teens, I'm thinking, and there was several of us kids, and one of the guys um, had a boot knife, and we had been to a funeral, and I was actually had my suit pants on, and we were over at someone's house, and I was playing with a boot knife and uh, doing some thrusts, and let the tip drop down, and it got me on the across the knee. Um, so hey, thank you, Legion Steel. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. That is much appreciated. Um, and y'all don't have to do that, but I do appreciate it. Um, so that was I ruined a good pair of pants, and um, that didn't deter my love of knives. So anyway, I guess I'm telling some stories tonight. All right, let's see. Where did I get to on comments? Because I had to go down there and check TKE right quick. But yes, I still have some old timers. I have some old knives that belong to my other grandfather. I have knives that the blades are almost entirely worn off on that he had. So I think I got it from both sides of the family with a love of knives. Um, and those knives are just those are ones that have been around for a long time. I think I've got either an old timer or a case that actually had it's actually still in the plastic tube, and still got all kinds of grease and stuff on it. So um, it's it's part of my collection as well. It's just not the ones that I usually carry now. TK says Carco's knives are money, but sadly, Carco's box was all Ozark Trails. So I'm not sure why Carco would do that to you. He sent me a really good box of knives to check out. Forest, yeah, it is almost too pretty to carry. Hey, Big Jim, thank you very much. I'm getting behind on all this. I really appreciate it, you guys. Um, but Forrest, if you look, the Raven, um, looks like Carco's carried it a little bit and used it. So um, I think that's one of his things. He has to carry and use it. So it's a very cool knife. And yes, Mr. Eddie, I'm not a young guy anymore. I guess uh, more than 50 and less than 55. So, and again, thank you, TK. If I didn't click on that, I do appreciate it, man. Okay, that wasn't a. It wasn't all uh, Ozark Trails then. Very cool. And I don't know the all of the blessed knives. This is like I mentioned, last week was the first time I'd experienced one. So I know this is the Newt. There's a Ripley and maybe an Alien, and I don't know. I think that's his three models that he makes, but I'm not sure about that. Mr. Eddie says no cookies, no money, and there was a response back: no money, no cookies. You guys are something else. And again, Legion Steel, thank you so much for the super chat. I just got monetized today, so I don't have memberships or anything set up yet. And in fact, that it was kind of this morning was or last night trying to get everything set up, and I'm still waiting on them to approve memberships. So it's been a learning process because I didn't expect it to be able to do that this quick. I thought it was going to be about a month or so. So hadn't planned well. I have not experienced the Magnum Works Pantheon, but there's a lot of Carco's knives. We were actually chatting earlier today, and he sent pictures, and I didn't know what half of them were. So that is something else. All right, Marshall says Helpful Gadgets ruined a pair of pants is the wrong thing to say after $2. Well, no, this was I ruined. Well, it's not the first pair of pants that I've ruined from knives. In fact, I just recently got a new suit because the pocket on my suit pants was worn from carrying a knife, and carrying knives over the past years, and I was forbidden to carry knives in those pockets, but I've worked it out with her to make sure that I'm still good with carrying certain knives. I just got to make sure they don't tear my pants up. So, and again, thank you, Big Jim. Much appreciated. I am not 59. I'm 50 something, 53-ish. Milton's got to be that old because his birthday, according to about every live I get on, somebody says happy birthday to Milton. So, and thank you very much, Legion Steel. And Big Jim, thank y'all. And I again, much appreciated. So TK got the Ripley, the Homer Zoo Auto, a Magnum Work, and a Les George ZT. I've played with some Les Georges at CanCon. I have not with the other ones. Ron Dobbins, thanks for being here, man. Do appreciate you being here. Thanks for stopping by. And that stands the K in the TK. The K edge stands for the knife's edge, right, Ron? Yeah, but I'm going to be careful. I'll have to try to be careful what I say. But thank y'all, Marshall and Marissa, for coming by here. Do appreciate it. See, I'm not the only one that's advanced in years or something like that. But I don't feel like I'm old yet. Well, let me say that again. Most days I don't feel like I'm old. There's some days that I can tell that I'm not a spring chicken anymore. Just get a 4-year-old grandson and try to be outside and play for 3 or 4 hours, and you'll feel it. See, there's lots of folks that are around the same age as I am. We're not old. We're not old, Mr. Eddie. Thank you, Ron. Done for now. Thanks for being here, man. Do appreciate it. Oh, very cool. Very cool there. Thanks, none for now. Again, appreciate you being here. And you guys are chatting away and on another chat, and they keep popping up here. Help with gizmos. I didn't think about that one. Maybe I should change my name to Help with Gizmos. No, not doing it. Marissa says I'll stick with being 29 and holding. Alrighty then. That's one way to put it. And Ron Dobbins says all young at heart. Yeah, you're. They say that the age is only a number, but it definitely depends on the situation. All right, good deal. I think I am caught up on. I think I'm caught up on the chat now. And again, thank you all. And let me see if I can get this power supply plugged in. We'll try. It's already plugged in, so we're good to go there. Let's go ahead and clean off the table here. This is a fabulous knife. In case you guys weren't aware, if you got a 3D printer or have access to a 3D printer, you can actually go on NAF's website and download the file to print this off. If you've got a child or a grandchild, or friends that may think that's neat, it's got a working backlog. So I actually gave one of these to the grandson. So pretty cool little knife. Again, that's the American Blade Works Slippy. I think that's the entire name of it. I don't think it has any other name besides that. It's going back in the pocket. We'll put the Sharp by Design Derecho, and I'm probably butchering that name. The Bless Newt. And I managed not to cut myself on that one. And these will go back in my pocket. That's where they were earlier today. Those are the Vulcan knives and the Curtis. All right, let me pause here because I'm getting behind on the chat. Legion Steel says, I've been 29 for 20 years. You may have given us a hint to your age there, but I'm sure it's only an estimate. Ryan Dobbins said, I'm carrying Vero Mini Nova in titanium scales and Devo Mash in tiger stripe scales and titanium pry bar key set today. Yeah, that's I forget a lot of times to mention, but I most all the time have the Vero fulcrum in pocket. Not only do you have a couple of bits that you can use, but the pry bar works great, and I've used it a lot. I used it a lot more than I thought I would when I first got it. Big Jim, thanks for being here, man. And yes, 4 a.m. comes early. My wife is up about 4 something, and it's taking its toll on her. So be careful out there. Do appreciate you stopping by. Well, I think you're in your 30s, aren't you? You're right up there with Eddie, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the case. And this is the Cheburkov Raven. Mr. Eddie, am I pronouncing it somewhat correctly now? I had to do some research to try to find somebody saying it hopefully correctly on YouTube. And it wasn't an easy thing. All right. Forrest Tank says, I carry a Nice Guy Machine Ladyfinger pry bar. I'm not familiar with that one, but I'll have to look that one up. And Ron Dobbins said, I just picked up my third Berg Blade Sweeney. And that one's, I've got one of those, and I really like it. Dwayne Letterman, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate you stopping by. Dwayne, can't call him a neighbor, but he lives fairly close to me. A few towns over, I think. And so Eddie's probably not paying attention right now, but I think this is the Cheburkov. And I was trying to find out if I was pronouncing that correctly. This is the Artie Blade Spectre. That's one that's will stay in my collection. That's one Mr. Eddie keeps trying to get. The Vasti Porcupine. This is a top liner lock, and a pretty good little knife for I think they run about $60. But very comfortable, very cool knife. I hadn't carried that one since I've had a few other ones in pocket. And this is the Vostede Acorn. Got this one as a Christmas gift from my wife. So another cool little knife. All right, let's see here. Rundown, it's Asher knives and Devo knives are two of my favorite knife companies. I'm a big fan of the Asher knives. In fact, I don't have it on me now. I had it on yesterday, but I've got one of those Asher Little Buddy fixed blades. Those are cool, and the Warncliffe Asher is in my one of my devices is trying to talk to me. The Asher Spiro is, especially the Warncliffe version, in my opinion, is very cool. Ron Diamond says Legion still is now my third favorite knife company, and I haven't been able to check one out, but I think TKE was able to check one out, and I think he really liked it. So I'll have to try to check one of those out soon. Forsink says, "How's the button on the Vostede?" Let me. Yeah, that the lock actually works pretty well, and the way, let me see if I can show you this, but the way they did it, it's you've got to have it almost level with that cutout or the scale for it to. It's right at being, and I'm not doing a very good job at describing how this is, but you've got to, they made it an inset so that you have room to push it past the area that you need to in order to disengage it. I haven't had a problem with this one. I haven't noticed anything. I think it would be difficult to put your fingers in such a way to disengage it. So I see the how the button lock is one that a lot of folks like, but I also see how the compression lock that Spyderco does is probably a little bit safer because you actually have to reach in there and disengage that as opposed to the button. And yeah, I've noticed several, like if I cut my finger or something, I like having different locking mechanisms so that I can switch to another type of lock. I messed my thumb up the other day, and it wasn't liking several of my locks. All right, that would be very cool. I'd appreciate that, and thank you for offering that. I wasn't aware, and thank you. Ron's planning on ordering one of the and I'm not going to pronounce that because I'd probably mispronounce it, even though I've heard it said a bunch of times now. Very cool, very cool. That's awesome. All right, let's get some parts out here. Right. And in fact, let's see here. I have another. My wife was very cool to stop by and get some wink earlier tonight. I've got some order, but it's not going to be here until Wednesday or Thursday. All right, I've got to be careful with that. I'm actually putting that in a bowl that I can put out in the garage later. All right. I've got to remind myself I'll have to go look at the voltage that Fred was wanting for these. And I was looking at that earlier. I'm going to get a couple of items and try to do them all at the same time. I think someone mentioned a different way of doing it, having them in the bottom of the bowl and touching them with the wire. But I think I'm gonna use this piece of mesh and see if we can't do that. Give it a try. And I'm an amateur at this, so if y'all see me doing something wrong or something that could be done a different way, y'all let me know. And I think I've got some comments on it's the Asgear. And TK's trying to make me say stuff, and he knows that I'm not going to do that. Legion still says definitely use the mesh. Yeah, that worked pretty well last week, so I'm gonna do that. I'm thinking I may need to get another. I think I am. Y'all bear with me a second. I'm going to get some more distilled water to do the rinse with. It may not be needed, but I'm going to do it anyway. We got the parts sitting in a solution or in a alcohol right now, and I have already cleaned all the parts with dish detergent and several times, in fact, to try to make sure everything stays clean. So let's. You will read super chats. I will try to read super chats, mister. All right, let's I've got the list here. All right. What do we want to do here? I'm going to have to go back and do the let's do the I can't do this the pivot collars yet because all right, we're just going to have to do this. I'm going to do the body, both these bodies at the same time and see how that works. I haven't done a large piece with the mesh. So again, I am not an expert at this. All right. Actually, I don't want to do that yet. And actually, I want to use Wink, and I put things in a bowl that I don't think I'm going to be able to submerge the parts in. Told you I'm amateur on this. I'm gonna have to find something else. All right. Let's regroup here a second. I'm going to put those here. We need a larger bowl because I need to be able to immerse those scales, which are fairly large. I'll be right back, guys. I like doing the anodization more so off screen or off of a live, because then when you mess up, you get to not have it on live, but it's okay. All right. I'm going to dip these in the wink and let them sit for a second until it starts bubbling. Pretty good. All right, that does it. Then I'm going to dip them into the water. That is the proper water to have with that, this distilled water. And then we'll put it in the solution there. All right. Okay. And we want to go positive goes to the piece. So that should be here. And then the negative would be the anode over here. All right. And let me turn everything down here. All right, the color that I'm going for the body is going to be the 17.5 volts, which should be a nice purple. This is the color that was selected. Let me back up here and use the Windex to clean them and wipe them down. Okay. And then I've also got a suggestion of using simple green. I actually use Dawn detergent and then suck them in alcohol as well. Should I pull these back out and grab some Windex before doing this? I'll let you guys let me know on that. Indra Collector, Brant, thanks for being here, man. Do appreciate it. Okay. All right. So let me okay. I'll do that then. Let me run and get some let me go get some alcohol and some paper towel. Windex and paper towel, and I'll be back momentarily. See, that's why I love doing this. I can learn things from you guys. So, yeah, I really need to get Gabe. You mentioned that I need to get the some other stuff that I can't recall the name of right now. That's a whole lot better than doing this. But we're going to give it a try, and I'll be right back with some Windex. All right, and I've got some comments here, so I'm gonna multi-etch. Exactly. Yeah, I need to get multi-etch. Multi-etch. Thanks for being here, Salty Pines EDC. No, not happening. 1931 Leatherwork says, pro tip, if you are anodizing medial blasted or darker finished TI, use 60 volts. It's gold on polished TI. On darker stuff, it comes out a nice bronze. I'm not. I didn't get to choose the colors on here. If they don't turn out the way that Fred's wanting them, we'll do them again. Actually, I'm going to leave that one there. And so what you guys are saying is I need to use Windex to clean these off as they sit now, and then right back into the distilled water and baking soda there, correct? And I'm going to be just cleaning these off and putting them back on the. And sorry, you guys, I pulled it off camera because I don't want to make a mess over what I have already. The J Cape has a lot of different parts on it. It's got some insets, and he's wanting those different colors than the body and the clip, and they've got an idea of how they want it, and I'm trying to help out with that. Plus, it gives me some content for the live, so it was a win-win situation. And told Fred I was not a expert, but he was not. He was okay with that. All right, so got those back on there now. And I'm going to check this to make sure you guys haven't come up with something. All right. No worries, man. Appreciate you being here. Okay. Gabe says, should be fine with the lower voltage colors using Wink, but it can affect you getting at the higher voltage colors. All right. So maybe etching isn't absolutely necessary for the lower voltage, maybe. So Legion still says it removes existing oxide layer, gives you a fresh canvas, so to speak. Yep. All right. So okay, yeah, I need to get some multi etch. I absolutely do. I knew that. All right, we're going to see what happens. This is an experiment that may or may not go as expected. All right. Okay, I've got my Windex. Let me get that out of the way. And I knew Windex was good for cleaning Mokutai and things like that too. All right, let's see here. Okay, I said we wanted to do 17.5, so let's see what happens here. Got that turned down. And let's see what I can get. That's getting a nice little green, but that's not getting, I don't think, the color. He was wanting a purple color. The amperage is still dropping though, so. And I'll try to get with chat in just a second. All right. The power, I'm using a, is it a Kungber? Amazon special. It's 120 volt power supply. I think we're going to have to go up a little bit on that one. Let's see. I don't think 17.5 was the color he was thinking. He said a teal. And I'm thinking the message said teal, but 17.5 is not, or that's purple. I'm sorry. So that's a little bit purple, but it's not, that's looking more like I'm going to have to add a little bit of voltage. It is pretty bronze. It looks cool, but I don't think that's what he's wanting. Let's see. Polish skills, take color best, top of media, finish. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go up on the voltage just a little bit. Let's see what happens here. I can see a little bit of purple over here. So that's going bronze just a little bit more. And the bad part is I'm getting a purple color here, but not here. This is looking really cool on the bronze. Now I can see a little bit of purple on the front of this one over here. Let's add just a little bit more. TK, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. All right, we're getting a little more purple here and here. So I'm getting a nice fade here for some reason, but I am not getting. I'm just going to let it sit for a while. Adjust where I have my fork. Whoops. I ended up pulling it loose here, so let's pick that back up. All right, I'm gonna put this over here. All right, let's try this. And watch it carefully. And you're right, yeah, it kind of grows across it. And I just got to be patient. Like I say, I've played with some of them, and I tend to like blue colors, so I've done that a little bit. Okay, the fork is too much resistance. Grab a huge piece of steel foil. I don't know what I have that might work for that. I don't know that I have any steel foil. I'm trying to think of what I may have here. It's slowly turning colors, but so Albert Creed saying use titanium instead of a fork. All right, guy. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's slowly turning, but and again, this is why I love this. I can be talking to you guys, and you can give me ideas of how to improve things. I have I've got some copper wire here, but I don't think that's what we need, right? I'm thinking copper wouldn't react well with it. And I probably got some steel wire, but I would have to trying to think here. What do I have? I could probably use my pry bar, but that may be too much resistance too. It is slowly turning purplish. Slide this to the back a little bit more. And oh, by the way, thanks for being here, KY4GM. And you guys, it is a titanium pry, so I can try that. All right, let me pull this out. I'm going to take off the metal bits here. Probably me. Well, I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, take the copper that runs around the edges and does not touch your titanium mesh. All right, let's see how that works. All right, power supply is off. Let's make that a little bit. Fine-tuning adjustments here. Let me bend that over. Because I'm going to have too much up in the area there. All right. All right, let me back up here because all right. Yes, absolutely. And we're good right now. It's not touching anything metal on either side. Thank you, Cole Foster. Do appreciate that. And Albert Creed, thank you. Thank you as well. Thank y'all so much. I do appreciate it. All right, I'm going to turn the voltage back down a little bit. I don't know if that'll change or not, but we're going to find out. All right, let's go back up. All right, I think that is actually working really well. All right, let's see. All right, I'm going to pull this out and take a look at it. I don't know that I'm entirely pleased with it, but dip it in some regular water there. Distilled water. Legion Steel, thank y'all for being here. Hey, Milton, thanks you for being here, man. Albert Creed, I did not know either. And Legion Steel, I will try to get on as soon as we're done here. We'll let this dry. I don't think that's quite the color we're looking for though, but we'll see. I do know that I need to get a bigger um, workspace. Normally, if I'm doing anodization, I do it in the kitchen, and I've got a lot of area um, to spread out in. Exactly. I've done that. I've done that a number of times. Didn't like how it turned out. Then um, have tried it again. So let's see how this. Don't think that's exactly the way that I want it, but this was a good test run at the least. It's yeah. The camera looks a little different. Um, it looks very bright blue on the camera, from what I can see. Um, it's a little bit more muted on the on from my by my eye, but it's probably not helping with the blue glows either, because it doesn't look very good there. But putting it down like that looks a lot different. Yep, and absolutely. And I may have to try something different. I may have to try this titanium, but I'm not sure how to hold it in there. So think about that and what else I may have that I could use. So I'm gonna let that dry. Probably actually I'll let me get some more paper towel. Use some Windex and clean that off. (1931) Leatherworks. Yeah, I want to figure out a way to use that fulcrum maybe and try it again. So let's try that. I may have to just hold the fulcrum with the Okay, we'll try that. That's and that's the way I usually do it is on a wire. So that is a possibility. And the main reason I got that the mesh was to try to keep the colors, trying to keep both scales in there the same amount of time with the same exact voltage to get the same color. But normally I put it on a titanium wire, which is what this is. Well, I'm pointing to something and not having on camera. That's titanium wire, and I've got plenty of that here. So let's use that. Let's use that titanium as the anode. Let's try to figure out a way to do this that doesn't. I don't want that touching. There we go. Let's do it the way that I'm used to doing it. Let me get any wire. And what I'm going to do is add a little bit more water back in there since I have those doubled up. Let me get some more distilled water. And yeah, this is one of those Amazon power supplies. All right. Going into the wink. Let it bubble up. All right. All right. Into the bath. Let me turn the voltage down. All right. Let's see what happens here. And going up with the voltage. We're at about 15 volts now. There comes the greenish bronze. All right, let me go just a little bit more. That should be about 17.5 there. And it's starting to turn. Yeah, it's getting there, I think. Almost. Here we go. Let's go ahead and pull that out and take a look at it. All right. I think that may have been the trick, is to use that mesh as the anode. Yep, that's got the color. I think that's about the color that he was wanting. We'll let it dry a little bit. And then he's wanting some teal on some of the other parts, but oh, it's already 11:30. Go ahead and take this loose. Thanks, Legion Steel. Appreciate y'all guys being here. Really do appreciate it. I think that's going to work really well. And they'll continue to purple up a little bit as they dry off. So titanium is the best option for an anode for anodizing titanium. Good to know. And I have a whole plethora of titanium mesh up there now, because it was a lot larger piece than I thought it was. Miss Shady says, "Keep going." That's one of the reasons I wanted that titanium mesh, was to be able to do the smaller pieces that sometimes is hard to do by hanging on a piece of wire. So I've got enough mesh that I can cut another piece of this to have in the bottom, or another piece to use as anode, since I've already got a wire on this one. So I think I'm gonna do that. And I should have been thinking about that a minute ago when Marissa and Marshall were talking about and when you guys mentioned using titanium. I've got a whole sheet of it here, so I can cut I can cut something to use as the anode for that. So that's what I'm going to do. I think that'll be better than what it is in the past. But again, if I hadn't been on here with you guys, then I probably would have struggled more to get that done. Which I think those colors might be okay. I think I still need to get some multi-edge though. Let's see what else. What else did he say that he wanted to do that color? While I've got that setting on there, let's see what I've got. Pivot collar, pivot screw, and the clip. All right. Don't think I'm not gonna be able to do the pivot collar because I can't get that. They're still stuck together. I'm gonna have to use some heat on that to get the. Apparently there was some. Well, I can do one of them. Teal color. No, I think I'm going to need to. I think I'm going to have to cut the mesh before I do that. And yeah, it's a cool knife actually. It's and I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that mesh, or I'm gonna have to tie a wire around there. All right, I think I'm just gonna hold off and get these apart, and because there's actually the insets that go into that section there. This inset goes in that section there, and then there's an inset that goes in this section, and he's wanting those teal colored. So that's going to be cool, I think. This is going to be purple. The backspacer is going to be teal as well. And the body screws, I'm going to have to do the body screws as well. So I'm going to need that mesh in order to do it, I think. 1931 Leatherworks says, right now for hardware, I make a small bath like you have there. Just put the hardware right in the Tupperware and touch it with the wire. You may have mentioned that the last time we were doing this 1931, and I haven't tried that. I want to try that too, probably. And that way you don't need the mesh. I don't know why that was not something that I was considering. So I may have to try that as well to work on the hardware. But I think, let's see, teal on that, go about 85 volts. Okay, yeah, he was saying about 82, so that's right around the same thing. But I think that's going to look awesome. Let's experiment. I have not done the entropic anodization, and don't even have a clue how that would work. But in case I haven't told you guys, I really appreciate you hanging out and talking to me tonight. I think that part looks pretty good. Still got some wet spots on it, but that may be pretty good. Yep. Started 82. Yeah, I like trying to work up to it a little bit, because sometimes if you're not careful, you'll go you'll shoot up over where you were planning on going. But it's really cool to watch the different colors change as you increase voltage. 1931 Leatherworks. Have you noticed that if you are really slow going up with voltage, that is it a different color than when you get to the desired voltage more quickly? Have you noticed a difference there? That's a question I had when I was playing around, oh, weeks ago. Albert Creed says my grandkids think I'm a wizard. I have I've done a few knives that I've anodized and anodized some clips and things like that. Um, but nothing really major. Ah, okay. Touch the threads of one piece and they all change if they're all touching. I was saying, night. Do it is there a difference if you're really slow going up to the desired voltage as opposed to approaching that voltage quickly? Does it make a difference in the color? I thought it did on one piece that I did before, but that may have just been a fluke. And let me look here whilst I'm. Okay, the only thing else that I need for the purple color is the clip. Actually, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that with the. We'll try that with the wire. I need to dip this into the. Some of this. I need to dip this into the wink. All right. So for the proper steps, would you dip it in wink and then rinse it with distilled water, and then the Windex, or the Windex and then the wink? Okay, so you get the voltage set and then dip it in. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm going to dip this into the wink. All right. Rinse that off. All right, let's put this in here. Try using the wire and just touching it to it. Let's see. All right. You guys have given me a lot of different things to try, so that's pretty cool. Okay, and there's the clip. It looks similar to the color there. We'll see how that goes. This is still dry. All right, let's see here. Again, you guys have given me some things to consider and think about, and I think I need to do some more testing. And Simple Green, yeah, I've used Simple Green before, not for this, but yeah, still going. We're trying a little. We're doing some experimentation here, but it is getting late. It's 11:40 Eastern time, and I need to go ahead and shut this thing down and and clean up and get to bed before too long. You guys, it looks like we've how many people we have in here? I can't even tell. We've got about 8 people still in here. I appreciate you guys hanging around. All you guys, thanks for the advice and helping me work through this and giving me some things to try. I appreciate it, you guys. Thank you so much, and thanks to everyone that did super chats. Thanks for everybody that's subscribed as well. I really appreciate y'all. But I think I am going to shut it down and let this be it for tonight. But I do plan on maybe doing the assembly, final assembly, maybe on live. So I still need to fix some of these parts because I have a pivot screw stuck on a pivot collar. I had this. Where's it at? I had a stainless steel washer stuck in this piece here that I could not get out, and finally took a hairdryer to it and heated it up and got it to release. So I'm assuming somebody used a little bit too much Loctite at one point in time and got it stuck together. Same thing for that pivot collar and pivot screw. So again, thank you guys. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope to see y'all again soon. Hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your evenings. Thank you.